I sat on it for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then there was like 150 comments like, what is this? You know, I want one. Like, oh my gosh. I've kind of always thought like, we're just as good as they are. Like, I love our area. Like, and so many people love our area.
Absolutely.
So I want it to be where there's no holes in your closet, to where it's like, I have 50 pieces in my closet that I am obsessed with, that I love. I've got a couple of lofty goals. I want to get into Augusta big time, and I want to get into Pebble Beach. If you want to try something, sell 2 of them. See if you do that.
Yeah.
If you do that, see if you can sell 2 more. Then you start knowing, okay, I got something here. Or maybe I don't, if I can't even sell 4.
All right. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of the Southern Executive Experience. Today I've got Rob Robertson here from Robertson Associates and SSI Lifestyle. Rob, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, real quick, you're in the insurance business.
Yep.
And how long have you been in
Pray
the
for me.
Right? And how long have you been in the insurance business?
11 years.
11 years.
Yep.
Yeah. What got you into that?
I did mortgages with Paul Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Paul's like a dad to me. Great guy. Don't know if you know him. He owns Somerset Mortgage. So I was with
I'm
him
not sure
for.
if I do know him yet, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Great guy. I mean, super.
awesome.
I was with him for 17 years doing mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
Went through the recession.
Mm-hmm.
That was brutal. Going through that, just kind of wanted to have a little bit more control kind of what my destiny was or my future. Recession was tough.
Yeah.
So I kind of was always looking to try to get into something that was a little bit more stable throughout all economies.
Insurance is definitely that.
Insurance, liquor store, something, whatever.
That's right. Everybody
Something.
needs insurance.
Yeah. So the whole time we were, when somebody gets a mortgage, you have to prove homeowners insurance, and if you're in flood zone, you got to prove flood insurance too. So I was pretty familiar with it. We got stuff from local insurance companies a lot. A lot of them were dropping the ball. They were taking a while to get quotes. And then there's a 1-page deck page that proves, this is, the name, address, coverage, dates, and stuff like that. And that's what mortgage companies needed, the lenders.
Right.
They kept messing it up, and it was kind of frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to go do the class, get my PNC license, just to have a little ammunition to talk to these insurance agents and go, hey, I know what it takes. Like, let's just get this.
Right.
So I did that just simply to do that, just to get a little bit more well-rounded and be able to talk to these guys a little bit better.
More of an expert, so you can maybe work out the kinks and help them out, help out your customers.
Yes, exactly.
And then I guess you found a need that on that side of the fence.
Yeah. So then I started just kind of writing a couple policies myself as we went along.
Right.
And just got better and better at it. And I saw all the mistakes everyone else was making.
Right.
And I knew what mortgage companies and lenders needed. So I kind of backdoored it from the inside, but it was really beneficial because then I knew what was necessary and what was needed. And then I just kind of started growing my book.
Right.
And then I got to a spot where I was kind of putting more time into it than I was doing mortgages. So then I flipped the script and just went
all in on the insurance.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure your experience on both sides helped you be a better insurance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And when you were mentioning that, I just had a flashback to the crash and how that was going on. I had been in sales for about 5 years when that happened. And I remember like it was yesterday, I had 2 mortgage companies. They wanted everything. They wanted the biggest version of it. They wanted all the bells and whistles. And within 3 years of coming back, it was half of those offices had been shut down, and it was Armageddon. I mean, I just remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people had to pivot.
That's right.
A lot of changes. Yeah.
But then, so what led from insurance to what you're doing now with the SSI lifestyle and everything? And I just want to start off. I'm sure you've heard this before. That's just really impressive. The whole creating that, bringing that. I don't know all about it. I'm sure I'm going to learn about it, but just creating that out of nothing. That's just really, really cool to me. So how did that come about?
Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
There's two things that for a while there I wanted to accomplish and do. One of them I had drawn this logo, and so I wanted to try it, and the other was get my private pilot license.
Gotcha.
I still haven't done the pilot license thing yet, but it's on my
One
list.
thing at a time.
Yeah. I go down that rabbit hole a little bit, but anyways, drew this logo out. I always kind of wanted to do T-shirts. I kind of am a guy that likes simple on the front, and then you kind of do whatever you want on the back. I'm not a big print on the front kind of guy.
Right.
So I like simplicity. There's a company down on the Panhandle. It's Seaside. There's shirts, from them, and it's just all caps across the chest. Just says Seaside, and I've just always thought it's really clean, simple, and I really like that.
Yeah.
They have a lot of coastal tones. I'm kind of like a coastal or a spring tone guy.
Yeah.
I like that area, Destin and Seaside and all that. Really pretty, but I've kind of always thought we're just as good as they are. I love our area. And so many people love our area.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. It was weird that somebody kind of, they basically marketed that area and they kind of put a brand on it. They branded it.
Right.
And I don't know, just kind of thought we need that too.
Yeah.
Before, if you wanted a shirt or something from St. Simon's, it was usually like a restaurant. It'd be like a Brogan shirt. We all see those a ton.
Right.
Crab Trap or, something like that.
Sea Island or somebody would have.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. But nothing really just to say St. Simon's. And so that was kind of the draw of what I really wanted to do.
Gotcha.
But it's funny because I drew that out, and then our family has some land out in Baxley, and so we go out there. There's a pond house and stuff, and there's a big wooden table, and everybody gathers around it, and we play games and do whatever. And so they always put that brown paper on it, and everybody's coloring and drawing and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And I would draw it out, and everybody's like, yeah, it's great. And, it's, of course, your family is going to tell you things are great. Your kids write something, you're like, oh, that's great. It's terrible.
True. That's right. That's right.
So you don't know. But I sat on it for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then so finally I had the logo vectorized and digitized. And so got that to where it could be put as embroidery on a hat or a shirt or whatever.
Gotcha.
Then I did 20 hats. I was just I just want to kind of see how it even looks on a hat, do some different colors and stuff like that.
Right.
Then we went to Cumberland, took a couple boats down there for Memorial Day one year, and we're just having a good old time, anchored up, drinking, eating, having a good time.
Yeah, boating.
Yeah, that's right.
Life.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then my girlfriend, she posted all these pictures on Facebook, and on one of them, her and I were both wearing a hat, and we're on the boat coming back, and then there was 150 comments what is this? I want one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the moment all right, it's not just me, maybe there's some traction here or somebody else sees it that, I got something.
This might really be something.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's so simple. You know what I mean? It's a simple design, but it means, for those of us that live there and that, and those people that vacation there, I mean, it symbolizes the island. I mean, it's a perfect, simple logo, and I think the simplicity makes it even better than it is. I think it could, in my mind. I don't know.
No,
I'm not artistic, but in my opinion, I think it's just it's simple and cool. It's just a nice thing. And I will say this: I have a few of those shirts, and when I wear them and I go other places, I've had people ask me, where'd you get that shirt? And I'm like, well, it's St. Simon's. And when I tell them I live there, why are you wearing a shirt from where you live? And I was like, it's cool. You don't understand. It's like our home emblem. Basically hometown logo.
That's right. So. That's kind of part of it too. I kind of always thought like, how do you represent the place that you love? I mean, we see all the time people have shirts with states, your state logo, and it'll say like home or something or whatever.
Right.
So kind of a similar type deal. I mean, like if you're going to represent somewhere, I mean, you might as well represent, a spot where you're choosing to raise kids or, have a business or live every day.
Yeah.
I mean, all the more so, I feel like. So
Me too. I kind of laughed. I remember that conversation at the poker table, and I was he was picking on me, but I was like, I like the shirt. I like the shirt.
yeah.
But so how did you take the idea and turn it into a business?
For me, I had my insurance, and so that was nice. How it's organically happened for me, like I was doing mortgages, and then I was able to sprinkle in insurance until I built it up.
Right.
So it's good. I've never really taken a full just leap of like, hey, I'm quitting this job and I'm just rolling a dice on this one. This has been the same thing. I've had my agency, and that affords me to do some other stuff, some fun stuff.
Right.
And so with this, it was kind of a similar deal. All I'm doing is just kind of doing it on the side. If it failed, I wanted to play a hand. I just some of it, I just want to make my own stuff, like sometimes I've always shopped and I've just always thought like, oh, this shirt would be perfect if they would have done it this way. Yeah. Or, man, I just wish there was something simple, like keep it real. I really like to keep it simple.
Well, lately, I think sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Nike and all these shirts and all this, even the shoes lately, it's craziness. Like they think the more designs, the better. I'm like you. I want something simple, plain logo, or just one color of the shoe with the check mark is fine with me. I don't need all the designs and everything.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to get out there to try to appease some of the masses too, because some do want a bigger print on the front, and that's not my style. And some people want an orange, and and that maybe not be my style either.
Right, right.
So it's been good for me to get out from just my comfort zone and what I really, really like. But it's been fun. I get to get creative with it.
Right.
Every time I'm online or we go, visit another town, I'm constantly looking and shopping and trying to get pieces of ideas from other stuff or color combos or something like that. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah. Now back to the story about getting started. So you were going back and forth. You were doing. You're still doing insurance.
Yep.
You're kind of doing this on the side. When did you know it was really taking off? I know you said you got the 150 emails about the picture. The first picture you posted. But when did you really get to really start taking off with it?
So I had my main office is over by the roundabout on St. Simon's, and it was a duplex, and I was renting it, and I had one little room in the back of it, and I started with like a table back there. So I did our first state outline is the first design I ever did.
Yeah.
And did that as a shirt, and then had a couple hats. So I had them back there, and then I designed the next shirt, and I was just ordering small stuff, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of getting out there a little bit. We've just all done like kind of organic social media with Facebook and Instagram, just free stuff.
Right.
And then our girls help with that too. So that's been kind of fun watching them go with it as well. So I would literally I wasn't taking anything out of it, of the business. I was just rolling it to the next design or more inventory.
Gotcha.
So I've just been kind of very disciplined on that. And my insurance agency lets me do that. Of
course.
I don't have to be dipping into it and stuff like that. So that really, really helps. But that is different.
It helps you not have to push. You don't have to be. You're not there trying to. You're not trying to make your living selling T-shirts, especially to begin with. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
You don't have to get aggressive. You don't have to really hammer, paying for marketing or advertising or any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been fun. It's been real laid back and no pressure based on that.
Gotcha.
So just kind of been doing that the whole way. I'll come out with the design. We'll, if we're ordering a different shirt or a different hat or something like that, wash and dry it, 10 times. Let's just make sure that this material is holding up. It's been fun because now we're starting to get into like we were buying clothes from wholesalers. And what I mean by that, there's like big companies like Sanmar and Alpha Broder and SNS. You've heard of like Comfort Color shirts?
Yep.
All the kids love those. Fraternities, sororities, that's like all that they get.
Gotcha.
Nice cotton shirt, boxy, like kids are all wearing shirts huge on them. You can't even tell girls have shorts on,
Right, right.
Like it's wild.
Yep.
So anyway, we were buying those shirts, and then we would have like a company put our design on the front or back or whatever we did with them. So that's buying through wholesale, and that's been good. You don't have a lot of control over some stuff,
Right.
colors or cuts. You're just at the mercy of the market, whatever there is.
Right.
And some stuff we kind of want to get out there, and we want to get like custom. So that's what the last year and a half I've been really doing is I don't know anything about this industry at all. Like just backdooring into this thing completely.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Learning as you go.
That's right. Right. It's been really fun. I really like challenging myself like that and learning new stuff like that, learning new industries and stuff. So,
Awesome.
so now we've been going to sourcing conventions. Like off air, we talked about New York, and we've been to Vegas and stuff. These are fun. These are, companies from all over the world.
Right.
I mean, it may be Egypt or China or Turkey or Peru, wherever, that have clothing manufacturing companies. And we can literally go like, hey, I want to send you this quarter zip pullover, but I want the sleeve to be an inch longer. Or I want thumb holes in it. Or I want the collar to be a stay collar or whatever. Absolutely customizing the stuff. That's been a ton of fun. And it's crazy. You know, they have like minimum order quantities and stuff. Some of them are huge and some of them aren't. But what's kind of wild is getting some of this stuff custom made is cheaper than if you went through a wholesale company and buying just kind of normal stock stuff.
You wouldn't think that.
Oh, you'd think it's totally backwards.
Yeah, that is crazy. So you can get something custom made, custom measured and everything cheaper than you can get something mass produced and just put your stuff on.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Wild.
I bet the wholesalers don't want you to know that part.
That's wild. I mean, but wholesalers are great too. Yep. We still use them. So we still have a fit and a need for them.
Right.
And sometimes, if you don't need a ton of something, sometimes we'll have weddings and people will want like to do gifts and stuff for weddings or hats or whatever. We can do small runs.
Gotcha.
And so that's cool. So it's nice to use the best of both worlds, really. Cool. But my whole thing now, like the guy who started Lulu, this guy, he was an innovator as far as he would see women and what they did in their daily life. So they would get up, they'd get the kids ready, or they'd go to yoga, get the kids ready, or vice versa, or whatever. Then the grocery store. Then maybe they went to their job, and then maybe they went to a lunch or something or whatever. And he's like, well, what if we kept them in the same outfit? Like, how do we keep them? Like, why do we have to have them change 6 times for different things that they're doing? So, yoga pants, I mean, everybody loves them, and they're great.
Yeah.
Women like them. Guys like looking at women.
Absolutely. It works both ways.
It's everywhere. It's great.
Absolutely.
So I love where it's or kind of that industry is headed, that it's like, I think before, maybe even for women, it's classic with like shoes and heels and stuff. And it's like at the end of the night, their feet are killing them.
Right.
But it's like, oh, these pumps are so, I love them. They're amazing. They look great, but they feel terrible. But now I feel like the industry is going to where it's like you can have everything look incredible, but feel amazing.
Yeah, get the best of both worlds.
Right.
And yeah. Well, and be able to customize that shoe. Use a shoe. It looks a certain way, but maybe it feels, you can change it and make so it actually feels better. You don't want to walk barefoot. Yeah. At the end of your night. It's funny us talking about shoes.
I know, sorry.
I'm trying to use those.
I don't even do shoes. But anyways.
Right. That's funny.
Yeah, I especially the last like year and a half, I just in my head, I'm like, I have like I'm wearing right now. They're these golf pants. They're red Vanley, and they're just super stretchy and comfortable, and they're my favorite.
Yep.
And so for me, I'll buy 7. I'll buy different colors. You know what I mean? Like, but when I find something I really, really dig, I just wear it out because I love it.
Right.
I want to feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
So whenever I go play golf, I'll probably wear those. I like Roan shorts, and then Millar. I think Peter Millar changed the game on guys' polos.
Yeah.
It used to be just that cotton, and that's great. But now you got a performance material with spandex stretch in it.
And for the South, that just changed the game. I mean, when you started wearing that and the performance pants they make now, both. Yeah. When you live in southern coastal Georgia, that's a must.
That's right. That's right.
For sure.
So, like when I play golf, I want to feel my best out there, and then I think it translates with my game.
Yeah.
And so, so for me, it's like, all right, how many favorite pairs of pants do you have in your closet? And I probably have 7. They're all red Vanleys.
Yeah.
All right. And then it's like, well, how many favorite shirts do you have? And I probably have like 10 or 15 Peter Millars, and those are probably my favorite. Johnny O's great too. But not maybe everybody has that. Maybe some people I have 3 pairs of pants and I have 2 shirts that I really, really love. I want to change that.
Yeah.
I want it to be where there's no holes in your closet, to where it's like I have 50 pieces in my closet that I am obsessed with, that I love. Like this one is a hoodie that I wear on Sundays on the couch when we're just being lazy.
Yeah.
Or this is like a long sleeve hoodie sun shirt that I wear out to the beach or on the boat or whatever. Or a shirt. This shirt that I have on, we designed it, and we found it at one of those sourcing manufacturing conventions.
Right.
It is the best polo I've ever put on in my entire life, and it's not even close. Johnny O, Millar, Ralph Lauren, I've worn all of them.
And you prefer that one, y'all's.
And it's not. It is. There is such a gap. It's crazy to me. It feels cool. It is almost wet feeling.
Oh,
it's crazy.
yeah.
So anyway,
May have to check that out. May have to grab me one.
Well, buckle up. We got a lot of it coming. I'm working on ladies' pajamas.
Okay.
Which is an entirely different world.
Yeah.
Because you got long pants, you got shorts, you got long sleeves, you got short sleeves, you got button down the middle. There's all kinds of different variants that you have with that. So I may be getting it over my head, but I'm diving in.
There you go.
Yeah.
You don't know unless you try.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm doing guy pajama pants in this too.
Okay.
But we're going to do like a SPF fishing shirt.
That'll probably
certainly
be huge
polos.
at St. Simon's. I mean, that should be a huge thing.
It's great. I'm going to wear this fabric out because I am so basically obsessed with it. And so it's crazy. I have, I'll work on doing samples and like, okay, let's try this cut and let's try this print and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's funny because I've like slept in these polos several times.
Yeah. Well, if it's that solved, I could understand it.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I know that that's a big market. Knowing that I've got 3 girls in my house and pajamas is a big deal. So I guess that's a little bit of leads into my next question. What do you see for the future? Like, are you gonna stay in local, and what is your outlook for the future?
Yeah. So this is gonna kind of work 2 for 1 for me. I like trying to strategically move my life in those directions where I'm not just getting out on a limb on one thing. And what I mean by that is sourcing all these fabrics. We have like 6 different garments, materials right now that we've sourced that we're absolutely in love with. They all feel incredible. I always have people put them on. They're like, oh my God. It's like, yeah. Like call your grandma, like you got to feel this.
Right.
So the path now is continuing to source more materials, coming out with different stuff. Those are all going to be SSI.
Right.
But I'm also going to create a wholesale channel where we have these items where we can go to different places and put their logo on them and customize for them too.
Cool.
So, yeah, I've got a couple of lofty goals.
Yeah.
I want to get into Augusta big time, and I want to get into Pebble Beach. There's a couple other big players and stuff. Those are mainly like golf stuff.
Yeah.
I got a passion there for it.
For sure.
It's kind of wild because we have these stores. We have one in the village too, and the one at my shop. And I would say the overwhelming majority of our shoppers are women, probably 85%.
Really?
Yeah. And so I had to check my ego at the door on some of this stuff because I want to have golf pants and I want to have all these polos and stuff.
Right.
And just as it's kind of worked out, it's like, well, women are the shoppers. And so I've morphed to looking to do more stuff with women. I don't know. This wholesale thing, I'm super duper excited about it. Our price point will be way lower than if you got like a Peter Millar or Johnny O. But the quality, I mean, I'm so over the moon about it. I'm excited. So that's kind of the future. So
Awesome.
It will go with SSI. We'll have great stuff there,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll also have that stuff available to start kind of going to some of these bigger companies and see if they want to buy our stuff.
Are you looking to when you do the wholesale? Are you looking to like create another logo for Augusta? Is that the goal, or is it?
So you can't tell in this, but
Yeah.
This is our St. Simon's busy print, and it's everything St. Simon's.
Yep.
So it's like a surfboard and a sailboat and a football and a crab and a dog and a golf cart and a beer mug and all kinds of stuff that just the lighthouse, everything that like speaks oak trees.
Right.
It's just kind of everything that I feel like represents St. Simon's.
Yeah.
But we have this girl who works with us, and she was working remotely in New York. Her name's Caroline, and she's great. She's so good digitally. Like, I have had a problem for a couple years now that I have a vision of a shirt or design or print or something, and I can't get it to the end game. I can't have it come to fruition of
Right.
like, hey, now we can see it. So I will just like throw up ideas to her. I mean, just bam, 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 bam. And then she's creating every single logo digitally. She
Yeah.
like draws them. And then it's cool. So we'll like get it in there, and then I'll go, okay, let's go to like the pink tones. And then I can watch her, and she'll move it, and then goes pink and red and blue and yellow. And, you can see it happening real time with her design.
Right.
So it's great. So to get to your question, like, I wouldn't create a new Augusta logo. They nailed it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But there's so much uniqueness with Augusta. I mean, the scoreboard and Rays Creek and all kinds of stuff at Augusta that are just historical, like, wow, that's the look.
Yeah.
The clubhouse, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to get there and have her with me. And if they're like, yeah, we'll give you a shot, like, see what you got. For them to go, hey, we'd like this and this, and then her create it specifically for them.
Right.
Like if it's a busy print like this or something.
Design it specifically for
That's
Augusta.
right. That's right.
I'm thinking of mint and julep, but that may not be. Anyway,
But
that
yeah,
kind of
for the
stuff.
Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby, that
Exactly.
kind of stuff, but for the Augusta. I've never been to Augusta. I'm jealous of everybody that has.
Mm-hmm.
I finally went. I mean, I've never been to the Masters.
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
been to Augusta a handful of times, but I hear it's a beautiful place, and I've got to see it one day. I've got to see it.
Even if it's practice round, even if you get in and there's no tournament.
I've got a father-in-law who says he's got tickets, but I've been married to my wife for 4 years now, and I haven't seen anything about
Larry.
those tickets. Right? I don't know about those tickets, but maybe one day. So
Yeah, gotta go.
yeah, that sounds awesome, and you're passionate about everything you do. You can see you love it. I mean, you can see you got a passion and a drive for it, and that's amazing. Real quick before we get out of here, what advice would you give to somebody that wanted to start something? That wanted to start a side hustle, whatever that might be, whether it be in the t-shirt business or any other thing. What is your advice?
I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff like that.
Yep.
One of them kind of stood out to me, and he was like, if you want to try something, we can all get bogged down in, okay, I want to start a company making these cups, which great cup, by the way, you got here.
Thank you.
Yeah, but so it would be like, okay, I need to order like 1,000 of these cups, and then I got to get my my LLC created and my website up and all this stuff.
Right.
He's like, sell 2 of them. See if you do that.
Yeah.
If you do that, see if you can sell 2 more. Okay. Then you start knowing, okay, I got something here. Or maybe I don't if I can't even sell 4. But a lot of us will get bogged down and we'll go, well, it's $1,200 for a website. And then I got to do my LLC and I've got to create a bank account and all this kind of stuff. And we can all create that mountain that gets in front of us. And then we go, oh, and then it's 10 years down the road.
It's too much. And it's overthinking it.
That's right.
And then you're just spinning your wheels.
Try it.
Yeah.
Just try it on the smallest scale that you possibly can. If you got something there, then you can work up. Mm-hmm. Then in month 2, you could create your LLC. Right. Or you could create your website or whatever like that. So that's my suggestion is you got to go for it. I'm mad at myself. I didn't try this 10 years ago, when I originally had the idea.
Right.
But I'm fine with it.
Timing is everything.
You never know.
That's right.
But I'm kind of like, man, especially when you're younger, you got energy, and if you're passionate or whatever, I mean, you got it then. I would just start as soon as you possibly can. That's my suggestion.
Well, that I think we mentioned earlier that I'm a big follower of Gary Vaynerchuk, and that's right up his alley. What he says, it doesn't have to be perfect, and just post it. You know what I mean? Just post it, and make mistakes and learn as you go.
That's right.
Learn as you go. So, man, I appreciate you so much for being on here. It means a lot. And thank you for turning in for this episode of the Southern Executive Experience. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.